Hi, I wanted to do a video. I don't know yet about what I want to talk about, but I just felt like so good right now, and I felt I wanted to share some things about maybe life or maybe I don't know. Um, I want to talk about like vulnerable personal stuff, like not personal, but in the way that things that comes from vulnerability and that requires you to dive deeper into yourself. I think that's that's my favorite topics to that's definitely my intention with my work, with what I offer, and with the journey I'm on to of diving deeper into ourselves, finding our own answers, feeling that we know and we can trust. And I feel that's just amazing when you start understanding, oh, I knew. I knew how I was feeling. I maybe didn't say it, I didn't express it, I didn't recognize it at the time, but I knew. And once you start saying, oh, I hear what my body is saying, or I hear what my heart is saying, or what my guides are saying, then you start noticing it more and more, and then you're like, you can go to the next step, maybe like a few steps ahead, depends on where you're at, but of expressing what you hear, of putting into action what you can hear, what your intuition is telling you. And something that there are a few things that are helping me with that to trust myself, to know that I have the answers within myself. The first thing, there's no order for real, which is like the first thing I thought about was knowing about my human design. So if you're not familiar with human design, it's a tool that is kind of, let's say, similar to astrology. It's something that is quite complex, and you can have a look on the internet like to get your chart, and you will see like there are a bunch of centers that can be open or defined, and a bunch of information like the type, the authority, the profile. It's so interesting, and I've been interested in that for a few years now. So I know a bit about it, but I'm definitely not an expert. So I would just advise you to find someone who's an expert at it and get more information from them. But so in the information that the human design is giving, there is the authority, and the authority is the way you make decisions. So for some people, they feel instantly like a gut feeling, and they know if it's a yes or a no for them. For other people, like myself, you have to go through the emotional waves and find a point of neutrality before knowing, before being able to make the decision. Because if you are in the waves of emotions, like you might be really excited about something, like, yeah, I'm going to do that, yeah, for sure, it's so nice, wow, I'm so happy, I have this opportunity, wow. And you're just like, yes. But then you think more about it, and then you're on your own, and you're just like maybe journaling or just in your bed thinking about this project, and you are, actually, it's not me, it doesn't make sense, I'm not able to do that, no, I don't feel like confident enough, or I don't feel like doing that with this person. It doesn't feel right anymore. Like a lot of doubts and maybe anxiety and or sadness, or like memories that are coming back that make you feel it's not a good idea. And it can go like that for like days or weeks. Like it depends what's kind of decision you have to make, and how emotional is this decision. But to be sure that you are making the right decision, you need to wait this point where you feel neutral. You feel that you went through all the waves, now you feel at peace, and now you can really feel if it's a yes or a no. So there are more complex things about the emotional authority. It's so amazing. But what it gave me is the right to wait, the right to be indecisive, and to not feel bad about it, because like there are a bunch of other authority, of course, that just there's not just like the gut feeling and the emotional, but I won't go over all of them. Most people are emotional, by the way, but it just allowed me to be at peace with the fact that I struggle with decision making, and and often it can bring me into like a panic mode because I see other people that are just easy making decision, easy feeling their yes or no. And for me, it's a bit more difficult. And it's not only linked to my human design, but it as a part and being able to recognize that I have to go through the waves and I can now express that to people. So like right now, I don't know. Can I take 5 minutes to just breathe, see how I feel, see if I'm excited about it, and maybe I should just wait a bit to kind of go through the different like emotion that I can feel about the situation, and then I can say yes or no. Um, so yeah, I just feel like I am allowed to be myself, and I'm not. I don't have to make decisions really quick. It's okay to not know when it's a yes or a no, and I just need more time, and that's okay. And that's okay to also be in a lot of different emotions about the situation. So the human design and the authority has validated a lot of things for me. So it can be a great thing to explore uh, if you're interested into that. Um, so that was the first thing. Then another thing I wanted to talk about. This one is a bit more vulnerable because I'm not sharing much about it at all with anyone. Um, it's connecting to your guides. And a few years ago, when I was hearing this kind of thing, I had no clue what it meant. I was like, guides, okay. I have no clue what guide is. Like, what does that mean to do people see guides? Like, hear people speaking their head? I don't understand. And so it's okay if it feels really weird to you and you're just like, she's crazy. Like, what is she talking about? I was definitely there a few years ago, and I guess I did a program around shamanism, and it was quite basic things, but it was the first time that I did like a shamanic journey with like the drum, and we were guided to connect to a few guides. Like there are two main guides that uh, we were uh, we were were connected to during this journeys, and it's funny because when I went through that and I saw like this first guide, and I was like, is it you? Is it are you my guide? And I was like really unsure, and I was like, I'm just it's just my mind making it up because I like this animal, or I like these colors, or like I saw that first, but it's probably because I saw this early in the day, and I was just I was skeptical for sure, and and I don't know what I believe about that. I just feel that it's helping me, so that's why I'm sharing. Um, but basically, even though I was pretty skeptical, and I was like, maybe it's my guide, but I'm not sure. I probably made that thought in my mind, and the same with the second guy that I connected with. I was like, weird. Hmm. Okay. I saw this person. Interesting. I don't know what to do about it. It will probably change because I don't understand. And this was um maybe more than 6 months ago, and now I feel connected to them in the way that I feel that I can rely on my guides sometimes when I'm not feeling safe. Or I remember last summer, so yeah, it's actually going to be more than 6 months. But last summer I went to Italy, from France to Italy, hitchhiking, and I was like, yay, adventure! I was confident and everything. But then at some point I waited a lot of time and I was a bit scared and I started to doubt, and I tried to connect to my guys and ask them for support and ask them to tell me if when someone was stopping, if it was safe for me or not. And and because I could feel when they were saying yes, it is safe, I was feeling so supported and protected because I was like, oh, actually, they are really they are really here. And when they say something, it feels right in the body, and indeed I felt safe, and nothing bad happened to me. And and so the more I connect, like asking them questions, it can be random, like sometimes I'm just lost, and maybe I'm scrolling and I'm feeling bad, and this actually happened this morning. I was like, I don't know, I'm feeling bad and what to do with my life. I should be visiting the city, but I'm not feeling like so. And I was just scrolling and being on my phone, and I was like, I need to stop, I need to breathe, but I couldn't really feel what was right for me. And so I was visual, visual, visualizing one of my guide there, and I was like, what should I do? I feel bad. And I can't remember what she said exactly, what I heard, like my intuition or her was telling me, but more like questioning, like kind of an inner coach or an inner therapist sometimes, of what do you really want to do, or how do you feel? And just she reminds me I have the answers. So I'm like, yeah, I know I should drink water, but oh, and and sometimes it's funny because it's like this internal dialogue, and my guides are sometimes able to just bring me more confidence because they are saying me, yes, you are safe, yes, you can go this way. Or sometimes they're still like, better not, I think you can do that later. Or so sometimes I do say, no, you are not safe, or you should be careful, you can do that, but just be careful. And because I'm connecting more and more to them, then I know more when I'm trusting more their answer. And sometimes also they don't want to answer, and I'm like, that's not nice, I want to know. And so it's funny because, for example, like a really simple example of it is, there is someone that I met in Colombia that I would really have liked to see again before leaving, and it seems that it's not going to be possible. But I'm still wishing because I haven't left yet, so I'm just like, maybe it's going to be possible to see this person. And so I asked my guide, am I going to be able to see this person again? And she said yes, and really confident, and I felt in my body it was right. Yes, I'm going to see this person again. But when I asked if it was going to be before I leave Colombia, like now, she didn't answer. She was like a kind of silent, and like that's interesting because whatever she if she answered yes or if she answered no, it would have changed something in me. But not knowing, just like I'm open to both, and I will see, and I don't need to know. I just need to know that I will see this person again at some point in my life, and that's enough. And so it's interesting. So yeah, I'm I'm exploring this relationship with guys, and sometimes trying to connect to other things. And I definitely want to deepen my connection and to dive a bit deeper in some other dimensions, and see how I can see things differently, and being supported by them. So yeah, I don't actually really remember why I shared these two things um, at the beginning, but I got really passionate about it. And what was it? Because emotional, just like decision making and feeling more confident, allowing myself to be myself and feeling safe. And hmm, I don't remember. Uh, but I hope it was interesting for you, and there are definitely a lot more things that helps, and that can be like more coaching session, either with a coach or therapist, or just a friend that is good at asking question. But it can also be just taking the time to ask yourself the questions. And and often I know I'm watching a lot of personal development stuff, like spirituality thing, like around, for example, the full moon. And and sometimes, a lot of time, I'm not actually taking the time to sit down to be fully present with what I'm reading or what I'm listening to. I'm not taking time or enough time to dive into each question and really see what it means for me, and kind of analyzing it. And sometimes it's not necessary, like sometimes you don't need it and you just want to kind of relax in front of something. So it's not, oh, if you're watching a personal development video, then you have to be extremely efficient and productive about it. Like, it's your life, you do whatever you want with it. And definitely don't feel guilty about that, which is like, we're humans. But I notice, for me, that I'm not always taking the time to answer the questions, to reflect on where I'm at in my life, to reflect on like my patterns, on my limiting beliefs. And sometimes it's a good reminder, so that's why I want to bring it here. It's a good reminder to plan, to schedule some time, maybe an hour, maybe less, just even 10 minutes, to just you find a question that you feel you need to take the time to answer, although it's uncomfortable and you don't really want to dive into that, but you give yourself 5-10 minutes to answer that, either journaling, or maybe making a video or a recording, um, or maybe a dance. Like, I don't know if it's like, how do you feel about the situation? How can you dance, and how can you move your body to express this feeling, and feel it for real in your body. Allow yourself to embody what you are feeling. So so yes, that's my invitation. Take some time to answer a question. It can be a really easy one. It doesn't have to be like really deep shadow work where you go to like really sensitive spot and you really dive deeper into ugly part of yourself that you don't want to see. It doesn't have to be that. To start, it can be a simple question as how I'm feeling. Easy. Well, not easy to answer, but I mean, it's simple. Or what do I want to bring more in my life? Or what is an emotion that I'm not allowing myself to feel? Or what do I have to offer to the world? Or what do I need right now? Yeah. So these are examples, but sometimes it's good to keep in mind that we need support to go through this process because it can be really uncomfortable. It can be really vulnerable, and we can want to just hide, not look at it, and we can require some support, either doing that with a friend, like taking some time to sit down with a friend, having a few questions, if they're asking each other questions, or just journaling next to each other and feeling that you are giving yourself time with someone else to work on yourself. It can be amazing. It can be going to circles where like someone's actually holding the space for you and where you can share things and reflect and hear other people experiences and thoughts and feeling about a certain situation. So that can be really amazing. Or it can be working with someone either like just once, there's a topic that is a bit triggering for you and you don't feel like handling handling it alone, then reach out to a therapist or like a coach, or someone you trust, and or like something more regular, because you feel that there are a lot of things that you don't take the time to deal with, and it would be nice for you to have an appointment with someone every week or every 2 weeks or every month to sit down with someone and be able to do a bit of a summary of what happened in your life or what is present now and how to what are the next steps you can take and where you're at. And yeah, so I just wanted to remind that because sometimes we feel guilty. Oh, it's true, my life, like I'm not changing anything in my life and I feel bad about my life, but I just I cannot take this time for myself. It feels uncomfortable. I just want to go away from my desk or from my notebook because I don't want to look at that. I'm scared. And I feel you, and it's okay, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for support. And yeah, and I would add that if you resonate with my energy, if you feel safe talking to me, I would be really, really happy to support you in something like that, to hold space for you, to create a space contain a safe container for you to just be here, sharing and experiencing your feelings. That would be an honor for me to be this person. So if you're interested in a session with me, uh, let me know. And if you have any question about my work, the tools I'm using, uh, what I studied, whatever. I'm of course really open to questions. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it was interesting and helpful and that it bring you some joy and light. Bye.